Hello, everybody, and welcome into the first edition of the Quick Fire with the Hockey Writers. We're going to shoot through a bunch of questions. I've got three people from our panel here. I got Logan Horn, who covers the Detroit Red Wings, Colin Newby, Philadelphia Flyers, and of course, Kristy Flannery, who covers the New Jersey Devils. Welcome, guys. Thanks for coming on the first Quick Fire episode here.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having us, Matt.
All right. So just as a primer here, they have no idea of the questions I'm going to ask here for the quick fire. So they're coming in cold. So all this is going to be off the top of their head, but they will have options. I'm not just going to throw out a question and have it open-ended. There's going to be a cut. Maybe eventually we'll have there's going to be, you can go off the board. But for this one, most of them are going to have a choice. So let's get started with the first one. I'll start with you, Logan, on this one. Which GM will get fired first? So we got Dubas with the Maple Leafs, Fletcher with the Flyers, and Lou Lamoriello, New York Islanders. Which one of those will get fired first?
I'm going to go with Lamoriello just because I feel like those other two options have a little bit longer of a leash, and Lamoriello did nothing this summer. And if they replicate last season's kind of failure downhill, he could be on his way out.
All right. Colin, what do you think?
I'll go with Lamoriello also with a short asterisk that says maybe he's not fired. I'll alter it very slightly and say who was the first GM to vacate his spot, because it's possible that he leaves. He's a little crazy. He's a wild card. So he will be the first to vacate his position.
All right. And Kristy, what do you think?
I'll be different. I'll say Fletcher in Philadelphia just because healthy, the Islanders have a better chance of performing better in the standings than I think the Flyers do. I think the Flyers are kind of a mess at this point. So I'll just go based off of that alone. I'm going to say Fletcher.
All right. So we got two for Lamoriello, one for Fletcher. We'll see if that happens. Next one up, we're going to go to a different position. We're going to go which coach will get fired first. As you've got Lindy Ruff, New Jersey Devils, Sheldon Keefe with the Toronto Maple Leafs, Darryl Sutter with the Flames, or Dave Hakstol with the Seattle Kraken. We'll start with you, Kristy, on this one.
Oh God, I wish I could prepare for this. Hakstol with Seattle. I have no real reason for it. I just don't think the other three are going to get fired first. That's all I got.
All right. Colin, what do you think?
I'm going to go with Lindy Ruff. The Devils have made a couple of splashes. They had Dougie Hamilton last year, Andre Palat this year. They're making some moves, but you haven't seen the results yet. If they don't get the results soon, it doesn't last forever for Lindy Ruff.
All right. Logan.
I'll go with Dave Hakstol as well, just because the Kraken on paper are a lot better than you'd expect a second year expansion team to be. And they were really not good last year. So if they do that again, who knows? He could be out. Maybe that's next offseason if Barry Trotz is on the market. Who knows? Maybe they wait until then. But yeah, he'd be my pick.
All right. So Dave Hakstol is there. All right. We're still going with the coaches. The next one. Which new coach will have the biggest impact on their new team? So you've got Lambert, New York Islanders, Rick Bowness with the Jets, John Tortorella with the Flyers, or Montgomery with the Boston Bruins. We'll start with you, Colin, on this one.
I guess I'll go Rick Bowness with the Jets. The Jets just had such a weird year last year with the whole Paul Maurice situation, and I don't think that they really performed to their talent level. Things kind of got ugly at the very end of the season, but I'll say Bowness as a veteran coach. He can come in and clean a few things up with still some talent left on that roster.
All right, Logan.
I'm going to go off the board, and I feel bad because it's pretty biased as a Red Wings writer here, but I'm going to go with Derek Lalonde, who was just hired from the Tampa Bay Lightning. He was their assistant coach. He's won at every level he's ever coached, which is most levels of hockey in North America. His first chance as a head coach, and I think that's going to be a pretty big upgrade from Jeff Blashill, so I think he'll make a huge difference.
All right, I should have said you could go off the board on that one. So, Kristy, we'll finish up with you. You can go off the board from those choices, but what do you think?
I'll stay on the board. I'm going to go with Montgomery in Boston. I think a lot of people are writing Boston off just with the injuries and everything, but this is still a team that has Patrice Bergeron. I think Zacha is primed for a really good season. They have Pasternak, so I think they're going to perform better than people are expecting.
All right, that's a good choice. Okay, next one. This is a little bit, well, I guess not really tough, but we'll start with you on this one, Kristy. What Canadian team has the best chance of winning the cup this year? So we got Toronto Maple Leafs, Edmonton Oilers, Calgary Flames, or a dark horse. So which one do you think?
I feel like this is between Calgary and Edmonton, and I'm gonna go Calgary. I think after everything they went through this summer, they're still at the same level, if not a little bit better. So I think they're going to be a really fun team to watch. And I think they're going to have a lot to prove, knowing that their two superstars did walk away.
All right, Calgary Flames. Colin, what do you think?
I think it's the Toronto Maple Leafs, as much as the hockey world might loathe the Maple Leafs winning. A lot of times you got to go through some tough losses before you get the win. The Avalanche know that. They had a bunch of early exits. The Lightning knew it. They had some disappointing exits. Why can't Toronto be next there?
Hey, solid choice. Logan, what do you think?
It's hard not to pick Toronto with Matthews, Marner up front, but I'm going to go with Calgary also, just because they've got a really solid team, really good depth at forward and D. And out of those three Canadian teams you mentioned, in my opinion, they have the best goalie, the goalie I would trust the most in Jacob Markstrom. So I'd go with Calgary.
All right. Last question. This one's open-ended. So who is your preseason favorite to win the Stanley Cup? It was really early, but what is your first that comes to mind? Logan, we'll start with you.
Mine is the Carolina Hurricanes. They got Max Pacioretty for free. Well, they got paid to add Max Pacioretty. They got Brent Burns for real cheap. And I think if Freddie Anderson was healthy for the playoffs last year, they could have at least gone to the conference finals against Tampa. They couldn't win a single away game, but I think if they're a little healthier and they get those huge contributors in for the length of the season, they're my pick for sure.
All right, Carolina Hurricanes. Colin, what do you think?
Going back and forth between two here, but I won't be boring and steal Logan's. Gonna go Hurricanes or Avs. I'll go with the Avs to repeat. They are just so loaded. They seem like an all-star team at all levels. I think that Colorado, like I said in the last question, went through some early exits, the bumps in the road. Now they're up there.
All right, Kristy, you had some more time to think about it. So what do you think?
I did. I wish I could be more creative than what I'm going to say, but my initial thought, because I hate these questions, is Colorado. I think between the talent that they have, and I don't think their losses this summer, I think that they can overcome that. So I would bet on Colorado to repeat. We'll go with
that. No, it's a good choice. Colorado's a really strong team still, even though they lost Nazem Kadri. So they're definitely a big choice for probably by a lot of people around. So. Okay, so there's our 5 questions, quick fire. Thanks for joining on the first one, Colin, Kristy, Logan. You can, of course, follow them all on social media, and they, of course, write for their different teams, and they're probably going to be on this a few more times throughout the season. But thanks for joining us on the first quick fire. We'll see you next one. We'll see you next time.